You look at Baltimore, you look at Ferguson, you look at St. Louis last night, over the last week. You look at all the things that are happening. We're sitting on powder kegs. There's no spirit. There's no jobs. There's no anything.
Donald Trump on the campaign trail in Alabama Friday night, saying that racial tension in this country basically equates to powder kegs in the cities he mentioned, and also pointing out that, in his opinion, race relations have worsened under the Obama administration. Mr. Trump's stop in Mobile at a football stadium brought in a large crowd as he continues to top national and state polls. Today, Trump says he's happy with recent ratings that have contenders like Rick Perry and Lindsey Graham at the bottom of the polls. Of course, Graham and Perry have been major critics of Donald Trump. For more, let's turn to the senior analyst at Zogby Analytics, John Zogby. John Skyping in from Utica, New York, and he's the co-author of the book, First Globals, Understanding, Managing, and Unleashing Our Millennial Generation. Also joining us via Skype from Northern Virginia is Craig Shirley, the president of Shirley and Banister Public Affairs. Craig's a Reagan biographer and author of the book that is coming out in October, entitled Last Act, The Final Years and Emerging Legacy of Ronald Reagan. John, historically, we've seen a lot of volatility in polls in presidential years. They're up and down, and a lot of guys who are in front wind up not winning. Will Trump have staying power, or will he fall to that same trend?
You know, it's anybody's guess, really, but my hunch after doing this for a long, long time is I just don't see how he sustains this over a long period of time. Frankly, I give it another month. I have always said mid-September. So much of it is based on being outrageous. How long can you be outrageous and be outrageous every single day is what he's being.
So, Craig, how do you see it?
Well, an old political consultant, Ronald Reagan's campaign manager, John Sears, said politics is motion. And the one person in this race who does seem to understand that axiom is Donald Trump. He is in motion every day. He's making new news every day. He's saying new things every day, some of them outrageous, some of them substantive. But he's saying things that most people want to hear, or at least are talking about. And that indicates to me that he does understand what this business is about, what his message is about, and that, you know, he's not going to stop until he stops himself, quite frankly.
Craig, when we take a look back historically at divisions within the Republican Party, you know, we used to talk about conservatives versus moderates. There were guys who talked about Joe Sixpack versus the country club set. Where is the party now, and how does Trump fit into an emerging Republican image?
Well, he definitely fits more with the Joe Sixpack blue-collar lunch bucket crowd than he does with the country club elites. It's interesting that so many populist leaders over the past, both Democratic and Republican, whether it's Teddy Roosevelt or Franklin Roosevelt or Ronald Reagan, came out of the middle class or even the upper classes. Some came out of the military elites, but they saw for themselves the corruption of the elites and, in fact, led populist upheavals in America. And I think we're seeing that today. We're seeing there's a dialectic to American presidential politics, which every generation or two, there's a populist upheaval, and we may be witnessing it now.
So it could be populism, and yet, John Zogby, you say that the shelf life is to September for Trump. That's your educated guess. People are still talking about him to the point that fellow candidates, for example, Mike Huckabee, he was on Fox News Sunday this weekend, and what Mike had to say was this, quote, "The dumbest thing people can do is give him more attention." So Mike says he's not answering any more questions about Trump. Is that a good approach? Will that help the expiration date for the Trump campaign if you just don't talk about him?
You know, we move from politics into psychology on this one, and frankly, the psychology, at least the public psychology of Donald Trump, is that he feeds off of all of this attention. Outrage equals lots of attention, equals lots of social media, equals lots of major media coverage. As soon as he puts together 2 or 3 days where there isn't anything outrageous, where the press isn't there, where he just doesn't get this kind of attention, I think that he himself may very well just get bored with that. I think this probably has taken off for him a whole lot bigger and a whole lot faster than he ever dreamt.
Fair enough. John Zogby, Craig Shirley, gentlemen, you have our thanks. Now, the cap that Donald Trump's been wearing on the campaign trail and at campaign stops, blazing out his Make America Great Again slogan, has become a sensation, and now you can get your very own Make America Great Again cap. It can be free. Just pay shipping and handling. Go to newsmax.com/TrumpCap or call 1-800-933-8396. We're coming back.